Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is May 23rd, 2023, and Jules Kounde is reportedly open to leave Barcelona come this summer. Also, the club have requested from Jorge Mendes the loan of Joao Cancelo from Manchester City. And finally, the signing of Leo Messi could end up falling apart. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, I would just like to remind you that on May 25th, it will be Barca News' first year anniversary. And in order to commemorate this event and in order to show you the immense appreciation that I have for all the support that I've been getting from all of you since the inception of this channel, I will be raffling not one, not two, but 3 Barcelona jerseys. And all you have to do to participate in this raffle is number 1, to subscribe to the channel. And number 2, to send an email with your name and address to the email address down below in the description. Now on Thursday, I'm going to do a live stream where I'm going to pick 3 winners out of those emails. And since I will already have your contact information, I will be ready to contact you to ask you which Barcelona jersey do you want, whether it's the home, away, or third kit, what size, and whether you want any name or number printed on the back. And since I will already have your your mailing address, I will be able to ship you your jersey directly to you. Now, begin with the news that Barcelona lost today against Valladolid 3-1 in what was once again another poor and pathetic performance by the team. Now, Barcelona's performance in today's match was absolutely unacceptable. And yes, I do understand that Barcelona have clinched La Liga title and the players might have lost some of the motivation to continue fighting. But nonetheless, this is FC Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the most historic clubs in the world. And when you wear that jersey, you need to honor that history and honor that crest that's on your chest and understand what it means to be a Barcelona player and continue fighting, not only until the final moment, but until the final match, even if there is nothing else to fight for. And unfortunately, that is not what we're seeing from this team and these players. Once again, Barcelona have humiliated themselves, having a horrible performance against Valladolid right after they had another horrible performance against Real Sociedad. Now, Valladolid, for most of the first half, controlled the match, and Barcelona looked like they were on vacation. And even though they did pick up their intensity a little bit during the second half, it was, of course, not enough because Valladolid had already established a significant advantage over Barcelona. And the game ended up in a 3-1 in favor of Valladolid. Now, it was so bad on the field that Xavi had to substitute Marc Ter Stegen during the halftime because Ter Stegen is trying to win the Zamora Trophy, which is given to the best goalkeeper at the end of the season. And he's also trying to set a new record for the goalkeeper with the least amount of goals conceded in a season, where the current record is 18 goals, which belongs to Jan Oblak from Atletico de Madrid. And Marc Ter Stegen so far has 17 conceded goals. So Xavi had to substitute him during the halftime in order to protect his chances of winning that trophy, the Zamora Trophy, and his chances of setting the new record for the goalkeeper with the least amount of goals. Now, Lewandowski was able to score, so he has added to his tally in that Pichichi race where he's currently sitting first, with Karim Benzema currently sitting second. But nonetheless, today's performance was absolutely unacceptable, and Xavi was seen very angry on the sidelines, which of course is very understandable because Barcelona right now are embarrassing themselves on each field that they play to. And I don't know what the plan of the players are, whether to continue embarrassing themselves until La Liga ends. But what I do have to say that this was absolutely unacceptable, and it was very sad to watch. Now, Barcelona have 2 more matches left. One on Sunday the 28th against Mallorca, which will be the last home game of the season, where it's expected that Barcelona will organize a farewell and a tribute to Sergio Busquets, who will be leaving the club at the end of the season. And then Barcelona will play the final match of the season against Celta Vigo the following Sunday on June 4th. And hopefully Barcelona manage not to embarrass themselves in these 2 final matches. Now on to the breaking news that Jules Kounde has informed Barcelona that he's open to hearing offers come this summer. Now, I reported about this earlier today through the community tab, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you're subscribed to so you can have access to that community tab where sometimes I do leave updates in between videos. And I said that Jules Kounde was upset about having played in the right back position for most of the season, and therefore he has informed Barcelona that if they do receive any offers for him, that he's willing to hear these offers and that he's open to leave the club. Now, it looks like Jules Kounde and his entourage are very upset about the whole situation where the player has been playing in the right back position, because when Barcelona were trying to sign Jules Kounde last summer, there were several other clubs interested in Jules Kounde and who were offering Kounde a lot more money than Barcelona, and they were offering Sevilla a lot more money for the player as well. But Xavi called Kounde and convinced him not only to come to Barcelona, but also to wait for Barcelona, because as you might recall, Barcelona were still activating the economic levers, and Jules Kounde had to wait several weeks until Barcelona were able to figure out their financial situation and make that offer to Sevilla for the French player. Well, it seems that during that call between Xavi and Jules Kounde, Xavi promised Kounde that he would be the center back in Barcelona. He told them that he would be that dream duo with Araujo and that they would be the starting center backs of the team. But yet Xavi did not keep his promise, and Jules Kounde has played on the right back position for most of the season. Now, this understandably so has upset Jules Kounde because he was promised that center back position and that promise was not met. And it seems that the player is still worried about having to play next season in the right back position again, because there's a lot of talk about Barcelona signing someone for the pivot position or signing someone for the interior or signing Vitor Roque for replacement of Lewandowski. But there hasn't been much talk about Barcelona signing someone for the right back. And with the arrival of Íñigo Martínez, Jules Kounde now thinks that he will definitely be relegated to the right back position. And that's something that the French player doesn't want to do because he wants to play as a center back, which is his natural and best position. Now, as a result of this, Jules Kounde has requested from Barcelona that if they do receive a good offer for him, that he wants to listen to that offer. Now, this, of course, doesn't mean that the player is going to leave, and it doesn't mean that Barcelona will be willing to offload him, because after all, Barcelona count on Jules Kounde. They consider him a great signing, and Xavi considers him an untouchable player as well. Now, it is reported that Barcelona do value Jules Kounde at around 90 million euros. So if they do receive an offer that's worth 90 million or above, that they would consider offloading Kounde. But as of now, there is no plans of offloading him because, again, Barcelona considers Jules Kounde a fundamental piece of the squad, and they consider him a great signing, and they have no plans of offloading the French defender. Now, a lot of you have commented saying that Jules Kounde has not done a well job in a center back position and that he's not a good defender, and therefore we should allow him to leave. But I'm here to say that that is absolutely false. Jules Kounde is not only one of the best center backs in the entire world, but he's one of the center backs with the most projection for the future. So he's definitely a player that you don't want to lose, and is definitely a player that you do want to keep. Now, I do understand that Jules Kounde has made some mistakes whenever he has played in a center back position, but what you must understand is that these players don't play in a vacuum. When these players go on a long time without playing, it takes them a very long time to get back into competitive rhythm. You know, we see this a lot at the beginning of each season when players come back from vacation. It takes them several matches until they finally start performing at their peak. And we see this also with players who've been injured for several weeks. When they come back, again, it takes them several weeks to get back into their peak, because that's how long it takes for players to get back into competitive rhythm. And that case is no different for Jules Kounde, where he has played for most of the season on the right back position. So whenever he has played in a center back position, it's been after 5, 6, 7 matches of not playing in that position. So of course he was making mistakes, because again, when you don't play in a certain position for too long, it takes you a while to get back to regain that competitive rhythm and to get back on to your peak. But don't confuse that with Jules Kounde being a bad defender. Not at all. Jules Kounde is one of the best center backs in the world, and we should do everything we can to keep the player. Now, it seems that that's exactly what the club's plan is. Xavi is trying to convince Jules Kounde to stay in Barcelona because he considers him an untouchable player, and Barcelona have promised Jules Kounde that he will be a center back next season, and that the club will do everything in their power to try to sign someone for the right back position. Now, speaking of the right back position, it's reported that Barcelona have now asked Jorge Mendes to do everything in his power to try to bring Joao Cancelo to the club on loan. Now, Joao Cancelo has had his falling with Pep Guardiola, and as a result, Manchester City sent the player on loan to Bayern Munich with an option to buy. But after spending half the season with the Bundesliga club, it seems that Bayern Munich will not be activating that option to buy, and a Portuguese fullback will be going back to Manchester City this summer. Now, Pep Guardiola does not want Joao Cancelo on his team, so Manchester City will look for a new solution come this summer. And Jorge Mendes had offered Joao Cancelo to Barcelona, but the club hadn't really considered it. But now that Jules Kounde is threatening to leave, it seems that Barcelona have prioritized once again the right back position, and they have asked Jorge Mendes to do everything in his power to try to bring Joao Cancelo to the club, but only if it's on loan, because Barcelona don't consider that Joao Cancelo is a long-term solution. Unless, of course, he comes on loan and proves himself, then Barcelona will consider buying him permanently the summer of 2024. Now, speaking of Jorge Mendes, it's reported that Ruben Neves has received several offers from different Premier League clubs now that he has announced that he will be leaving Wolverhampton come this summer. And it seems that the Portuguese midfielder has rejected several of these offers because he still has hopes of arriving in Barcelona. Now, Jorge Mendes is still working really hard to try to bring Ruben Neves to Barcelona, with the board of directors open to this transfer because they consider that this transfer would alleviate a lot of the financial fair play rule restrictions. However, Xavi and everyone in the sporting area are not in favor of this transfer because they consider that Ruben Neves doesn't have the level to be a Barcelona midfielder. Now, nonetheless, Ruben Neves is still keeping his hopes up that he will end up in Barcelona. He has reportedly rejected several offers from other Premier League clubs who are interested in him, including a very good offer from Arsenal. Now, it's reported that Xavi would be open to the idea of Ruben Neves arriving in the club, but not as a pivot or as an interior, but for someone to be on the bench to rotate with, kind of like someone like Frank Kessie, who could spend most of the season on the bench and be used for rotations, because Xavi does not consider Ruben Neves to have the level to be a starting pivot or a starting interior in Barcelona. So Xavi would be okay with Ruben Neves arriving if Barcelona also signed other midfielders like Amrabat and Gundogan, or Kimmich and Gundogan, or Subimendi and Gundogan. But if Barcelona only offered to bring Ruben Neves and that's it to reinforce the midfield, then Xavi will be 100% opposed to this, because again, Xavi would be okay with Ruben Neves as a rotational player to come off the bench, but he wouldn't be okay with him being a starter pivot or a starter interior. Now, on to the news that the signing of Leo Messi could be in jeopardy and the whole thing could fall apart due to his father, Jorge Messi. Now, as we've been talking about for quite some time, it seems that Leo Messi would like to come back to Barcelona next season, with Barcelona wanting to do everything in their power to try to sign the Argentinian back and bring him to what is and will always be his home. However, Barcelona have yet to make an official offer because they're still awaiting that official green light from La Liga in regards to the feasibility plan. Now, as I reported a few videos ago, there were several reporters in Argentina saying that Messi and his entourage are starting to get a little bit worried and nervous that so far they haven't received an offer from Barcelona. And today, new news broke out saying that the whole thing could fall apart because of Leo Messi's father. Now, this news comes from no other than Josep Maria Minguella. And if you're wondering who Minguella is, he was heavily involved with the signing of Leo Messi back when he was 12 years old. He was also the first person to report about Messi sending that burofax to Barcelona, wanting to rescind his contract when Josep Maria Bartomeu was the president. And Minguella was also the first one to report that Leo Messi was going to end up leaving Barcelona under Joan Laporta because of the financial fair play rule restrictions. Well, Josep Maria Minguella is obviously very close to the Leo Messi's entourage and a very reliable source in regards to any news that comes to the Argentinian. And today he broke the story that it seems that Messi, yes, he does want to come back to Barcelona. However, his father, Jorge Messi, doesn't want Leo to continue waiting for Barcelona, and instead would rather him sign that deal from Al Hilal, where the Saudi club are offering Messi 400 million euros per season. Now, this, of course, doesn't mean that Leo Messi will for sure sign with Al Hilal and he's not going to come back to Barcelona. But of course, we all know how much influence Jorge Messi has over his son. So the fact that Jorge Messi wants Leo to go to Saudi Arabia this could end up jeopardizing the whole return of Leo Messi to Barcelona. Now we will end today's video with the news that Firmino, through his entourage, has reached out to Barcelona to offer his services to the club once again. Now Firmino's contract will expire at the end of the season with Liverpool, making him a free agent, and the Brazilian is currently looking for a new home where to finalize his career. And it seems that Firmino has offered himself once again to Barcelona so he can be the substitute of Robert Lewandowski, since Firmino does know that Barcelona are in the market for a new striker. Now, as of today, Barcelona are not interested in signing Firmino due to his high economic expectations as far as his salary and his signing bonuses. And for now, Barcelona's main objective remains to sign Vitor Roque, not only as Lewandowski's substitute, but as the future striker of the club. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.